Hi guys! Now just to warn you, we have the builders outside putting up scaffolding at the moment. I don't know if you can see them through the curtains. So there might be a bit of drilling as we do this video, but camera person said to go ahead anyway. So excuse the drilling, they're doing some external works where we're living. So if there's a drill in the middle of it, it's all part of the action.
I told Dr. K not to shout out the window and them to be quiet.
Yeah, we might have a YouTube moment.
No, we won't, because I have to put up with them.
So if you can hear the drilling, that's because they're right outside the window.
I don't want to have their looks of staring malevolently at me because you've shouted at them.
Okay, here we go. Right, the first thing is, it's coming up to Christmas. The Badass, do you know what the Badass Boogie Blockbuster is? Well, I'm going to tell you. The Badass Boogie Blockbuster is a monumental PDF download of about 350 pages of the world's best Boogie Woogie sheet music, and you can get it at a nice little discount on our website. I'm going to put a little card up there, the Badass Boogie Blockbuster. It's got all the sheet music to the Badass Boogie lessons. It's got the classic Boogie Woogie solos. It's got all the books I've written about Boogie Woogie. Basically, it's got everything. It's called the Badass Boogie Blockbuster, and you can get it at our website. So I'm going to put a little link at the end of this video where you can go to the website and scroll down and look for the Badass Boogie Blockbuster monumental Boogie Woogie sheet music download. Now today what I want you to do is to concentrate on hands together rhythm, because one of the things about Boogie Woogie is that it's got a swing, and this is a bit of a difficult concept to get over. So for example, come here to the left hand camera person. We can do this, which is a chop, or we can do this. Or we can do this. Or we can do this. We can do this. Or we can do this. We can do this. Or we can do this. Now I hope you can hear the difference there. One of them swings, the first one doesn't swing. And when you play your left hand, remember, if you're a beginner and you're even an intermediate player, once you've got the notes, the main task is to get it swinging, because if it don't swing, it don't mean a thing. So when you're playing it, are you concentrating so much on getting the right notes? And this is a huge mistake that beginners make, so listen carefully. Are you concentrating so much on getting the right notes that you forget about the swing, and that you end up playing something like this? Come here, camera person. So this is like Hammy's Boogie played in beginner mode. I'm trying not to swing it. Now you've played the notes right, but it's as wooden as...
A wooden thing?
As a wooden thing, yes, that's a very good simile. So you might want to go... See what I mean? So often we don't forget that we are so wrapped up in getting the notes that we forget about the swing. And remember, the swing is where it's at. And one of the secrets of getting the swing is by your listening homework. Again, this is another huge mistake that beginners to Boogie Woogie make. They are not listening, or you are not listening to your making a lot of... Be quiet! Camera person thinks I'm going to go out there.
No.
Shall we have a YouTube
No,
moment?
we shall not, because I've got to put up with them outside having a new rant at them. No!
Are they actually out there? They're wearing kind of like orange vests or something.
No, can we not shout at them?
You can just see, okay, well they're out there putting up a scaffolding at the moment, but they don't know we're doing a YouTube video here. So the point is, you know, we're so wrapped up in getting the notes right that we don't swing it. And the second thing is, we're not listening to our Boogie Woogie CDs. And one of the tricks to getting the swing is to do your listening homework. And I would say you've got to do about, 3 months of solid listening to Boogie Woogie. Now you can go to Amazon and pretty much get any classic Boogie Woogie CD. If you get the Badass Boogie Blockbuster, I give you a whole list of CDs you should get. It's in the Badass Boogie Blockbuster if you want specific recommendations. But are you listening regularly? Because it's by absorbing the sound vicariously, sort of secondhand, that you really begin to reproduce it on the piano. So that is one of the secrets of getting the swing. If you're not going out to live concerts, that's another trick, to listen to other boogie players, is to listen regularly, because it's really important to help you get the swing. So don't get so caught up in learning the right notes that you play the right notes but you sound like a robot. Camera person, can you do a robot imitation?
I cannot. I don't want to.
That was very okay. Yeah. That was very convincing. So what we don't want is we want to say no.
See you soon.
All right. We want to say no to robotic boogie woogie playing. And the first way of doing that is become conscious of how you're swinging it. You know, are we so caught up in playing the right notes that we're not swinging it? Once you've got the right notes, then you've got to start getting the feel, you know? Another good trick to know if you've got the swing, if you've got a little audience, you're playing in your front room like we are here, see if you can get people's feet tapping. And if everyone's kind of sitting around like this, looking very, very serious and solemn, and nobody's moving, then perhaps you're not kind of getting that swing right. Because one of the tests to swinging is to see if people are kind of beginning to groove. Now, camera person is standing here as still as a statue. She doesn't seem to be grooving. Camera person, why aren't you grooving, may I ask?
Because the camera would shake, and you might think, oh, your viewers might have issues. I've got a challenge for you. Why don't you do a boogie woogie thing that sounds like, you know, that buzzing boogie, bumblebee boogie or whatever it's called? Why can't you do one that sounds like a drill? And instead of looking angrily at the builders, why don't you do one that sounds like a drill? Go on, that's a challenge for you, Dr. K.
That does sound a bit like a drill.
No, that sounds like a bumblebee. Oh, maybe a bit.
I think that's a...
Right, do another one that sounds like a drill. What about
I mean, this is not like a synthesizer.
I can think of one that sounds like a drill, you know, like something like, I don't know, like, or something like, do some
that
kind
really
of
sounded like a drill.
some kind of boogie woogie version of that. You know?
Like the drill boogie woogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really sounded like a drill. Would you like to do that again, camera person? That was so. Do it again. I'm just shocked at this.
Right, look, you know, like. Like that, you know, like a drill boogie woogie.
Yeah, that really sounded like a drill. I think we've probably just lost 1,000 subscribers.
No, you've gained support for camera person.
Definitely. So do check on those things. Get the swing, and one of the first ways you get to swing is actually just to become aware of it, because again, we become so kind of caught up in playing the right notes and getting it right that we forget about the feel. The second thing is, are you listening to good boogie woogie CDs? And if you're not, you need to include that as part of your practicing regimen. People think, or beginners often think, that it's all about just practicing the piano, and the listening homework is completely forgotten about, and that is one of the tricks. So if you're new to boogie woogie, you need to be listening regularly to Albert Ammons, Meade Lux Lewis, Pete Johnson, and all the other great boogie woogie players. And if you get the Badass Boogie Blockbuster on our website, stay to the end of this video. I'll put up a little link with all the books on. It's a little icon. That's the Badass Boogie Blockbuster. All the boogie woogie sheet music, all the boogie woogie books I've written, everything you could possibly want to do with boogie woogie is contained in the Badass Boogie Blockbuster. And treat yourself as a Christmas present to one of the best educational tools you can possibly get to help you become a badass boogie player in no time at all, and that is the Badass Boogie Blockbuster. So this lesson has been about the swing. Are you swinging it, baby? Are you swinging it? Are you listening to your Boogie Woogie CDs, and are you so caught up in practicing the right notes that you can play the right notes but you end up sounding like the robot boogie? You know,
well, that's a good boogie. Could you do the robot boogie?
I suppose you could do a kind of a, you know, it would be kind of a, no, I can't do a kind of a robot, you know.
Yeah, you could do that choppy thing with your hands. One of your.
I saw Ben
Turi, that's it, which I was really impressed with.
By the way, have a look. I meant to ask Ben Turi about this when we were in Paris.
No, I noticed it. Excuse me.
If you look at the video when we were in Paris. I'll put it on. It's called.
Ben, I noticed it first.
Ben might not even be watching,
this,
but if you look at the epic Boogie Woogie Jam in Paris video, I'll put the video on after I'll put a little link up. And if you look at Ben Turi, he kind of does this really, kind of does that chop kind of thing.
You could incorporate that into a robot boogie
which
and
I
make
think
it
was
into
really,
a robot
I meant to
boogie.
actually ask him about it. It's kind of, it's kind of, I suppose this is a chop, you know. I suppose it would be like this. Come in here, camera. But it would be kind of. This is a robot movie. It's quite cool.
I am a robot. I am a robot.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. You've been watching too many editions of Doctor Who, I think. Were you a Doctor Who fan?
Exterminate.
You a Doctor Who fan?
Exterminate.
Okay, I think, alright. So, you know, if you don't get that swing, we've often talked about the swing, but are you concentrating on the notes so much that you've forgotten about the swing? And are you listening to Boogie Woogie CDs? Because if you love Boogie Woogie music and you want to reproduce the sound, you've really got to you've got to spend a lot of time listening to great Boogie Woogie stuff, and you can get all my recommendations and all my tricks and tips written out in hard format in the Badass Boogie Blockbuster, I think the most amazing product you will ever get when it comes to Boogie Woogie. I've never seen anything like this. The Badass Boogie Blockbuster is just a mind blower when it comes to Boogie Woogie sheet music, Boogie Woogie books, Boogie Woogie tips, tricks, techniques, how to do everything. It's all there. It's about 350 to 400 pages of Boogie Woogie brilliance. Downloadable. You just download it, you print it off, and you've got it within a few minutes of watching this video. Now, as the builders have started outside again, I think it's probably time to rock and roll. What do you reckon, camera person?
Yes.
So click on the icon to get your Boogie Woogie Blockbuster for Christmas, and I will talk to you
very soon. I am a robot.